Taoist Master Dan Qing jolted in terror, screaming at the top of his lungs, "Don't come any closer. Ah! Ah! Ah!" 3 hours earlier, a storyteller sat cross-legged, holding a micro in one hand as he spoke passionately. "In our cultivation world, isn't it perfectly normal to have guns? I don't get why some people are so against hot weapons, insisting everyone must use cold steel. They keep talking about cultural balance and returning to orthodox cultivation." After saying that, he pointed ahead with a serious face, continuing, "If we have the tools, why fight barehanded? Losing your life for nothing. What's the point? Better to cover the field with firepower. Whether the cat is black or white doesn't matter, the cat that kills the enemy is a good cat. Those who keep chanting about the ancestors' immutable laws are nothing but conservatives, the common enemies of us all." He then added, "Look at Mu Rongqi. Isn't he doing just fine? As long as you head in the right direction, everything goes smoothly no matter where you go, or what you do." The people listening below shouted excitedly, "In this merciless sky, survival is the true king's way. The strong all crawl out from mountains of corpses." The storyteller raised his voice higher. "To surpass the law of natural selection, a few people dying by gunfire each year is an acceptable price to pay." Just then, a sniper hidden on a nearby rooftop fired. A bullet pierced straight through the storyteller's neck, and he screamed in agony. The crowd below jumped in fright, screaming in panic. That day, the sky was clear and warm, not a single cloud for miles. Flowers bloomed brilliantly across the land. Outside Ascension Mountain, San Tu Jiao turned pale. Well then. No need for divine sense, just with the naked eye, I can already see him approaching. Xu Minghua frowned slightly. "Is someone coming to cause trouble?" The Golden Crow replied with indifference, "No. It's your senior, a fellow disciple from the same generation as your Grandmaster." Tu Linga widened her eyes in disbelief. Pointing ahead, "Impossible! I can't even see through his cultivation. Could it be?" Standing at the front, Han Ju fell silent, thinking to himself, has bad luck really taken on form? Dark clouds rolled in overhead. Su Chi smiled brightly and waved. "Hi everyone! How've you all been lately?" Sweat beaded down Tu Linger's forehead. "Everyone's not well." Han Ju couldn't help but sigh inwardly. This brat Su Chi grows stronger by the day, and that aura of misfortune is becoming truly terrifying. Aside from me, no one in the mortal world can even approach him voluntarily. Perhaps ascending might be the best choice after all. Later, Han Ju sat across from Su Chi, speaking seriously. "You'll take Taoist Master Dan Qing as your teacher. Never reveal your background, and under no circumstances may you expose that you are my disciple." Su Chi's eyes shone brightly as he shouted, "Yes, Master. I'll remember." Han Ju handed him a jade token. "No need to be nervous. If you ever encounter a situation you truly can't resolve, use this to seek help from heaven itself." Tears welled up in Su Chi's eyes as he received it with both hands. Master's kindness. I don't know how I could ever repay it. Han Ju smiled faintly. Just remember the sect rules and cultivate diligently. Above all, don't bring trouble to the sect. Su Chi jumped up joyfully, and Han Ju let out a satisfied sigh. Among all his disciples, only this one truly understood him. Born under the blessing of the comet star, his life is tough to extinguish. But if he ever meets a true immortal, he could still face danger. I'll lend him a hand when the time comes. At that same moment, in the heavenly realm, everyone suddenly sneezed loudly in unison, a sense of unease creeping into their hearts. Meanwhile, Taoist Master Dan Qing, who was resting from his injuries, suddenly sat up and sneezed so hard that blood burst from his mouth. His face was pale and covered in crimson, his eyes bulging as he muttered, "An illusion. No, this time it's even stronger than before. They're really coming." Thinking of Han Ju, he pictured him like a grim reaper scribbling notes in a death ledger, the cover marked with huge, ominous characters, and beside him, that cursed Su Chi, born with a body of misfortune. To Dan Qing, the two were nothing short of demons in human form. Terrified, he trembled and shouted, "Can't we just make peace?" 14 years later. Ever since the Fusang tree had been watered with immortal dew, the spiritual energy of Ascension Mountain had continued to rise endlessly. At last, Hanju broke through to the middle stage of the reincarnation true immortal realm. Sitting cross-legged in meditation, he thought with satisfaction, "Good thing I was stubborn enough to spend decades rolling for luck and spiritual roots. Decades of suffering for a lifetime of ease, worth it." Just then, Hanju suddenly sensed someone before him. "Who's there?" The heavenly Tao order didn't even react, and they entered my cave abode without me noticing? A lifeless figure stood before him, tied by, his entire body like a statue carved of stone. "I heard you've become a true immortal," Tai Bai said calmly. Hanju's eyes widened. "Brother Tai Bai." Laughter filled the cave. "The power of a true immortal is vast indeed. No wonder His Majesty holds you in such high regard, heaven's favored child." Hanju sat down with him humbly. "Haha, just luck, that's all." Tai Bai lifted a pot of soup, gulped it down, then gave him a thumbs up. "No need to be modest, brother." Hanju stared speechlessly. "So, you came just for soup?" Suddenly remembering something, Tai Bai said, "Oh, right." He cleared his throat. "The immortal Emperor of Undying, the one you mentioned last time, was slain by the great heavenly general. He didn't perish completely, but at least for the next 1,000,000 years, he won't be causing any more trouble." Hanju clasped his hands together gratefully. "Many thanks, brother Tai Bai." Tai Bai waved it off. "No, no, thank heaven, thank His Majesty, thank the great general." While speaking, he rummaged through his robe and took out an invitation card. "I actually came to tell you this. The Grand Peach Banquet, held once every 10,000 years, is about to begin." Hanju blinked in surprise. "The Peach Banquet?" Tai Bai chuckled. "It will open in 100 years' time. Do you wish to attend?" Hanju frowned slightly, murmuring to himself, "Forget it. Showing my face there would just bring trouble." He pictured that chaotic banquet in his mind, immortal maidens fleeing in panic, their faces flushed red, peach petals flying everywhere. He couldn't help thinking, "Aren't I just like that monkey?" Even 7 fairy maidens lined up beneath the peach trees couldn't compare to those plump, radiant peaches in the monkey's eyes, a creature destined for loneliness all his life. At that moment Tai Bai spoke again. "Just one heavenly peach is worth more than 1,000 years of bitter cultivation." Hanju froze, startled, and immediately exclaimed, "Wait a second, I'll go. Can I eat buffet style?" Inwardly, he finally understood Sun Wukong's enlightenment. Tai Bai laughed warmly. "His Majesty knows you don't wish to reveal your identity. Don't worry, during the banquet, your name will remain hidden. All you need to do is enjoy the peaches." Hanju rubbed his cheek against Tai Bai's sleeve with a fawning grin. "Many thanks to His Majesty." "Many thanks, elder brother." Tai Bai suddenly turned his back and spoke gravely. "Don't be too quick to thank me. Although your identity won't be revealed at the banquet. His Majesty also mentioned this. In the Divine Palace, there is a young immortal emperor reborn, one who has awakened the Emperor's Tao." Hanju froze, not quite grasping his meaning. Tai Bai turned around, his expression darkened. When he was merely a true immortal, he slew a golden immortal. Now, his cultivation has already reached the golden immortal realm. He has been declared the mightiest prodigy of the Divine Palace's new generation. You must cultivate diligently. Even if you don't meet him at this peach banquet, you'll face him sooner or later. Having said this, Tai Bai's figure slowly faded away, before disappearing completely. His voice echoed through the cave abode. "Remember this, he represents the Divine Palace, and you represent the Heavenly Court. Do not let His Majesty down." When his voice faded, the cave fell silent. Hanju stood there, dazed. An immortal emperor's reincarnation. From the Divine Palace? That's insane. The golden invitation Tai Bai had left behind lay quietly in a corner, still unopened and unnoticed. At the same time, atop the main peak of the Yuqing sacred sect, inside the Grand Council Hall, this matter cannot be overlooked. A stern voice declared, "Mu Rongqi is the grand disciple of Elder God Slayer. Although that relationship hasn't been made public, if something happens to him, Elder Godslayer will surely be enraged. The elders in the hall erupted in heated discussion. It was an accident. One argued. Mu Rongqi was testing a new gun, supposedly manufactured in Tianzhu Kingdom. During inspection, it misfired and exploded, leading to the tragedy. Another elder snorted. Tianzhu, huh? No wonder. Someone else added sarcastically. So Mu Rongqi loses control and kills the gun's owner? Ridiculous. The association won't let that slide. Damn it! Another shouted. Before crossing the Yuqing sect, they should have thought about the consequences. Yet another elder sneered. That brat is under our protection now. We can't just hand him over. Indeed. After so many years of peace, it's about time to stir things up. Let them remember what conflict tastes like. Only then did Jiao Ding, sitting high, finally speak slowly. This isn't about Mu Rongqi getting into trouble. It's about him wanting to cause it, alongside those two brats. Yes, Jiao Ding said flatly, just as you're all thinking. Someone gasped in shock. Everyone looked at one another, completely caught off guard. What? He's not that fool. Is he? Jiao Ding's tone turned impatient. They intend to destroy the Holy Land. Do you people actually plan to send someone to help them? One elder sitting near him quickly retorted, We are the leaders of the righteous path. We absolutely cannot betray our allies from behind. But Jiao Ding cut him off coldly. And what other option do you have? A heavy silence fell. Sweat beaded on every forehead. Seeing their hesitation, Jiao Ding frowned. What? Don't tell me you expect me to go find Elder Godslayer? He's already made it clear. He doesn't interfere in worldly matters, not even in the grudges of his disciples and grand-disciples. Huang Zuntian stayed quiet, while Lu Bumi, seated beside him, raised his hand slightly. Master, Elder Godslayer may not intervene himself. But if Mu Rongqi truly dies because of this, that old man will definitely bear resentment in his heart. Jiao Ding's gaze turned toward him. That's why I've gathered you all here, to come up with a way out. If there's truly no better solution, then at least try to persuade them. The thought of those three, and the terrifying firepower they commanded, made everyone in the hall break out in a cold sweat. Persuade them? One elder muttered, stroking his chin. Those who oppose the use of hot weapons do have their reasons. Huang Zuntian finally spoke. Master, Mu Rongqi is already one of the top powerhouses of our Yuqing sacred sect. Aside from Elder Godslayer himself, who among us even has the qualifications to lecture him? Inside the hall, Jiao Ding furrowed his brows even tighter. Then what are we supposed to do? Lu Bumi suddenly suggested, Master, what about Fang Liang? Jiao Ding nodded slowly. Fang Liang is good, mild-tempered, and he has a close relationship with Mu Rongqi. Who among you is willing to go find him? The hall fell dead silent. Everyone played dead. Lu Bumi sighed. Fang Liang's whereabouts are unstable, and most of the elders aren't close to him. Finding him won't be easy. It's better if I go myself. 7 years later, Han Zhu suddenly appeared before the Heavenly Dao Monument, the uppermost tier of the Celestial Order. He blinked in disbelief. No way. On the glowing tablet, new rankings appeared before his eyes. Grade 8 Bear's Realm, rank 4393, Hairy Bug Realm, rank 4394, Mind Solid Realm, rank 4395, Crimson Cloud Realm, rank 4396, Mixed Sect Realm, rank 4397, Psycho Rebirth Realm, rank 4398. Han Zhu's eyes widened, and he shouted excitedly. It actually went up by several hundred ranks. He pinched his cheek to see if he was dreaming, then threw his head back and wailed, Damn it! If it keeps rising like this, it's not a good sign. Meanwhile, the storyteller, now covered in bandages, lay in a hospital bed. A visitor shook his hand and laughed. Survived a great calamity. Huh! Well, that must mean you're blessed.